Hey guys, in this video, I want to give you a quick breakdown on what you should do if you're coming out to Salt Lake City to visit. Even if you're coming for just a 2 or 3 day time span, I want to give you some tips and information about the area, what you should check out, what areas you should stay in, and which ones you should avoid. We're going to be covering a lot of information here in this video. I'm going to keep it relatively short, but I think this is going to be really important information for you. If you're thinking about making a trip out here to Salt Lake City, Utah, a lot of people who do that are looking to move here, and they've reached out to me saying, hey Cody, I need your help. I'm looking to move to Utah, help me buy a house, right? And if you're in that same boat, reach out to me. Call, text, or email. My information's here on the screen. I love hearing from you people. Over the last couple of years, I've helped hundreds of people relocate here to Utah and would love to do the same for you as well. Okay, so let's talk about how do we make the most of a 2 or 3 day trip if you're coming here to Salt Lake City or even just northern Utah for that matter. So the first thing I have on my list here is I recommend that you check out the downtown area. It's really cool because it's actually so close to the airport that it's super easy to get to. There's a ton of great hotels and restaurants in the downtown area. So if you're looking for a place to stay, if you think you're going to be within about 30 minutes of downtown Salt Lake, I would probably recommend staying in downtown for the length of your trip. I think it's going to give you easy access. The freeway is right there. You've got all the massive buildings. It's just a really cool vibe, right? Especially if you're coming from like a smaller town or something like that, being in the city might be a fit for you. Or even if you're coming from another major city, it might just be cool to see something that's a little bit different. Now, if you have absolutely no desire in staying in the city, maybe you're moving here to Utah to get away from the city, well, then you're going to want to probably check out some of the suburbs. If you have a couple of cities or neighborhoods or even just general suburban areas that you're thinking about making a move to, then of course you're going to want to check out those areas first. That's going to be the thing that you want to, go out there, drive around, get a feel for what those areas are like and what the pros and cons are of those areas. I have a lot of people who come here for a trip and they realize, wow, it's actually really clean and people are super nice. They really get a feel for what the area is like, having just spent a day or two in a particular area. If there's a couple of cities that kind of reach the top of your list, you're probably going to want to stay within about 5 to 10 miles of that area. In addition to that, you're also going to want to stay along the I-15 corridor. Whether you're going east or west from that I-15 corridor, it's only going to take you about 20 minutes to get to one side or the other. So staying close to that I-15 corridor is going to be essential to being able to have easy access to get where you want to go. Whether you're going north or south, you're going to have I-15, or east or west, it's only going to take you about 15, 20 minutes on those side streets to get to where you want to be. Generally speaking, the closer that you are to the Wasatch Mountains on the east side of these valleys, the nicer it's going to be, right? If you're up on the East Bench, it's going to be extremely nice. It's going to be very family friendly, very clean. It is going to be more expensive, but those are the more desirable areas. Now, there are some exceptions to this. If you're going south into the south end of Salt Lake County or even Utah County, you can go out west. You could go out to Harriman or South Jordan. Maybe it's Riverton, maybe it's Saratoga Springs or Eagle Mountain down in Utah County. You can go to any of these cities and actually find some really, really nice neighborhoods. So these are kind of the exception to the rule. If you're up north, if you're in the northern part of Salt Lake County or even Davis or Weber County, generally speaking, the further west you go, it's going to get a little bit older, a little bit more run down. There are still some pockets where you can get some really nice homes out to the west, but just keep in mind, the further east you go here in the Wasatch Front, the nicer it's going to be. Now, if you're looking at making a move here, you're probably going to be exploring some housing types, right? You want to make sure that you're looking in the neighborhood that is actually going to fit the type of lifestyle that you're looking for. If you go out there, you want to be able to look at some options, whether you're looking to rent or to buy a place. You want to look at some options that are going to fit what you want, right? There's no sense looking in an area that's more expensive or cheaper than where you want to be. If you say, okay, my budget is, $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month or whatever that is for you personally, you need to make sure that you are looking in an area where you can get exactly what you want, and make sure you go out there and check out some of these places to make sure you're on the right path. Now, if you're looking to purchase a home, that's something that I can directly help with. I'd love to meet up with you, show you a couple houses, make sure we're on that right path. And if we need to go a different direction, we can definitely do that before you waste the entirety of your trip, looking at areas that don't really matter to you. So whether you're looking to buy or to rent, I definitely recommend going out there, looking at some places in person to make sure it's along the lines of what you're looking for. And in order to figure out how you should do this, I would actually recommend asking yourself, hey, what do you see yourself doing on a daily basis? Are you going to be the person who's going out at night, going to restaurants, going to bars? Well, maybe you want to be in the city then. You're going to have a lot easier access to those things the closer you are to downtown. Maybe you want to stay away from that completely. You're a homebody. You just want to be at home by yourself, have it be nice and quiet. Well, you're definitely going to want to go out to the suburbs, maybe even to the the edges of these suburbs where you're going to get a lot more of that. So ask yourself, what are you going to be doing on a weekday night, or what are you going to be doing on the weekend? Whatever your answer is going to lead you to a particular area where you should be, right? If you see yourself going out hiking or mountain biking or skiing on a Saturday, you might want to live a little bit closer to the mountains, right? If you have no interest in that, if you have no interest in getting into the mountains, you just want to enjoy what we have here, well, then that's not going to be as big of a priority for you, and you can get more bang for your buck the further away from those mountains you go. So ask yourself, hey, what do I see myself doing on a regular basis? And then you'll be able to find the housing that fits that based on what area you want to be in. When you keep in mind where you're going to find the type of housing that you want, whether it's a condo, a townhome, a single family detached home, this is going to give you a good guide on where you should look as well, right? There's going to be more expensive and less expensive areas. So that's something I can help with as well. If you want to reach out to me, I'd be happy to give you some guidance to help you get started on that path. The next thing that I'd recommend when it comes to having a short trip here in Utah is get outside and do some recreation, right? A lot of the people I talk to who are moving here say, hey, I'm moving there because of the great outdoors. You can get access to any outdoor activity that you want within just a 20 or 30 minute drive in most cases. So get outside, go up to Park City, check out what it's like up there, maybe go on a short hike in the morning. There's a ton of 1 or 2 hour hikes that could be really accessible even if you're on a limited time frame. But get outside and do one of these activities and really get a feel for what it's like. If you have just a couple days here in town, if you can get out for a 2 or 3 hour walk, that's going to give you a really good sense of what it's actually like to live in that particular area. And it also depends on what time of year that you're actually here, right? Maybe you're here in the winter. Well, you might want to get out there and try to go skiing for maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe a whole day if you can really fit it in. But that's something that I'd recommend. Maybe you're here in the summer, get out there, do a hike, do some mountain biking, whatever it might be. Just get outside, have some fun, and really enjoy the recreation that we have here in Utah. And with that said, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to share this video with a friend or a family member who might be interested in this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're releasing tons of videos about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here along the Wasatch Front. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and click that button down below. Reach out to me if you're thinking about making a move here, and we'll catch you in the next one.